What's poppin', y'all? Casey here. Gonna go live really quick between some calls. I'm live on my Facebook group, Hot Moms Facebook group. If you're not in there, go to it. I don't know what you're waiting on. All right. So if you're new to my page, I help goal-oriented women, career-driven women, really in the cycle of things not working out when it comes to their weight, health, struggles, hormone struggles. A lot of women really like what I have to say because I'm a trauma-informed approach. I'm partnered with physicians that typically people try to go to all these doctors and functional medicine doctors, and they still can't get answers. You know, women typically, they want to do all this stuff. They have big goals, aspirations. They've tried a lot of things didn't work. And we kind of fix the reason why you would struggle. A lot of people in my mastermind was like, you've got to go live on this issue. And this is called the Edges of 17, like Stevie Nicks, you know what I'm saying? The Edges of 17. And the title was how your 17-year-old self could be blocking your success for health and weight loss. Who wants to know about it? Who wants to know about it? And I just love y'all over here on Instagram giving me these hearts, baby. I love you. This is awesome. And I may need to take off my sweatshirt because I'm gonna get hot, but I won't take much of your time up. So I've got some journal prompts for you today. I did this with my hairstylist the other day, and her and the girl that was in there, it was really helpful. And right now what I'm feeling, and comment below if you're feeling this too, you know, it's October 2022. I'm feeling a huge shift right now. I'm personally like up leveling a lot in my life. Lots of changes are going on, but I'm feeling, you know, women's energies when they're coming in, and it's almost like it's not a dark night of the soul, but right now a lot's changing. And when a lot changes, and it could cause some chaos, it could cause some storms, it could cause things to happen that may not be ideal, but I promise you there's gold in it. And I'm here to help you find that opportunity. All right. So who wants to find the opportunity in the crap, right? Who wants to find the opportunity in the crap? So let's go over it. So the Edge of 17, how your 17-year-old self is probably cock blocking your health and weight loss. Okay. Are y'all ready for this? Tons of changes. She said lots of shifts, kind of nerve wracking, but I know it's a good thing. Yes, Ashley. My job for you mastermind girls, I'm going to go live in there. I did a plant medicine retreat as well. And a lot of the integration questions that were coming up, I was like, dude, I've got to go live in the mastermind to give the tools. And the reason I don't go live on Insta and stuff like that is because I'm going to be giving you a lot of tools, and you're going to be like, where are those tools? They're inside the mastermind. So if you ever watch this and you're like, Casey, how do I work with you? Just shoot me a DM. Myself or my team will get you information. We got a lot of stuff going on, getting ready for the holidays. So I'm going to take care of you, man. I've got a lot of cool things to meet everybody's budget and to meet everybody where they're at on a soul level. Because I know that you're tired of struggling with your weight, your body, and your health, you know, low energy, being thrown off track and things always coming up the second you get going. Like, we're tired of that, right? Or maybe you've up leveled and you just feel like there's something missing and you're ready to go to the next level. That's usually when people come to me. So let's get into it. All right. So how to know if your 17-year-old is cock blocking your health and weight loss and money success. For me personally, it was all three. All right. So first, what we're going to do is 17-year-old self. I want everybody on here. And if you're driving, don't do any of this. I mean, you can kind of like carry on with this, but I want you to really, you may need to close your eyes. You may need to take a couple of deep breaths, but I want you to connect with your 17-year-old self. Now, if you can't connect to her, that's definitely a giveaway that maybe you weren't in your body. Maybe it was a very traumatic time for you. Okay. So don't judge yourself if you cannot connect to her. So let me know in the comments when you can connect. Just say, let's say in the comments 17. When you can think of your 17-year-old self, what you look like, maybe what your favorite things were, what car were you driving, if you were driving a car, like who were you dating at the time? Don't go there yet. Promise we're going to get through that. Just who can connect to their 17-year-old self right now? Put 17 in the comments if you can feel her, if you can see her. We good? 17, everybody, can you feel? Can you feel? Can you tap into your 17 self? Thank you, Becca. Thank you for Mary 22 Beth. Thank you. Sarah, good girl, good girl. Ashley, good girl. All right, Cherie, this is important. The reason I need you to tap in, because we're going to bring them to us. We're here as adults, but we're going to bring our 17-year-old selves to the healing circle right now. Okay. Our 17-year-old selves, believe it or not, needed other healed, older, wiser women that empowered them and gave them hope and taught them what they actually deserved instead of the shit they were experiencing, right? So when you tap into your 17-year-old self, it's important that we're all here together as our 17-year-old self. And me personally, good. Sarath, Meb, good. Christina, awesome. You know, that I really needed healed women in my life at 17. So I'll give you a little spiel about kind of where I was at. I won't bore you with it. But for example, 17 was one of the darkest times of my life. I actually tried to commit suicide between 17 and 18. It was when at the height of my mother's addiction problem. Home life, I mean, was absolute hell. She was at an all-time high. Like I said, her addiction was just at an all-time high. My dad was so depressed. He had withered away to nothing. After 21 years, they got a divorce. My little brother was about 7. I was left to kind of like take care of him and run the house. My mom wasn't there. I was like the wife. I had to grocery shop, clean the house, and really I was the woman of the house. I felt very responsible for my kid brother. I felt responsible for my sad dad. You know, he literally, his business, he lost his business. He lost a ton of weight. He was really depressed. And right before that, cops were at my house at night. It was hell. I mean, she would have all these rampages. She's alcoholic as well. And the house would just be, it was hell. Domestic violence. I mean, guns being pulled. I mean, it was wild. And I was always popular in high school. Don't know if it was for the right reasons. You know, I was a funny bitch. You have to be funny. Like that meme says, you know, I've suffered so much trauma, just enough to where I'm a little hilarious versus homicidal. So that, hi, I'm Casey, nice to meet you. But that's all in the past. And I'm going to teach you how, like I'm saying, that one of the reasons why we struggle with our weight and success in our life is stuff like this. So that was kind of where I was at 17. Matter of fact, I was on homecoming court. And I remember feeling so nervous that she would show up drunk. And she did. And nobody was there to save me. I mean, it was, you know, a night where a girl's supposed to just revel in her beauty and her femininity and her friends, like, was just a nightmare for me. I was like disassociated. How can I fucking get out of this, you know, shitty situation? Prom. I mean, I didn't even go to prom my junior year. I started dating a guy that was a very toxic relationship for me, but I'm not here to victim and blame. I was toxic. Okay. I was toxic. And that's why I attracted toxic situations. At that time, I started to numb out a lot. I started to really, you know, stop going to school. I stopped, which now I'm an entrepreneur. Thank God I kind of stopped going to school, right? I'm just kidding. It paid off. We found the diamonds in the shit, boy. But I stopped going to school. I started experimenting with drugs and pills and drinking and smoking. Not that smoking is bad or smoking cigarette. None of that. Not that anything's bad. Listen, I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying that sometimes when we get addicted to things, we're not addicted, right? We're addicted to numbing the pain. And I had low emotional intelligence back then. I had no adults around me with emotional intelligence. The adults around me were literally why I was feeling this way, but it's why I had an ACE score of over 8, right? If you don't know what an ACE score is, just go check the thing. You know, I was taught to be a strong woman. I was taught to, you don't fucking cry. You pull up your bootstraps, you keep going. You know, life is a struggle. I believe that I wasn't meant to have nice things. I wasn't meant to have good things. I wasn't the pretty girl. I wasn't this, even though maybe people thought I was, I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel worthy of dating the super popular guy, right? So I went for the one, the whatever. So I was also, like I said, in a very toxic, emotionally abusive relationship. I was abusive. I remember physically going after boyfriends, pulling knives on boys. Like, that was me. Like, I was the girl that really would just love to beat guys' ass. That was me right there. Girls, I mean, I didn't really get in fights too many girls because I didn't fucking care about them. I was just like, yeah, whatever. But guys, like, I really had the thing out for men. I was dark. I mean, I was full of rage and just that 17-year-old, like, fuck the world, like, fuck the teachers, fuck this, fuck that. I would get kicked out of classes all the time, just to give you an example. That's where I was at 17. Awesome, KDJ, awesome. So that's just to give you a little example of where I was at 17. Now, some people would look at me and go, wow, Casey was popular. And maybe they had all these stories in their mind about what Casey was, right? I was so not there. I was so disassociated. I was just trying to survive. Really started, like I said, numbing out during that time. And soon after that, I remember somebody telling me I should get on antidepressants because I was just miserable to be around and I seemed depressed. And that's when I realized that they were making me sleep a lot. So I figured one day, hey, you know, fuck this life, man. And I had acne at that time coming up. I felt like the other boyfriend that I really wanted to be with didn't want me. He wanted this other girl, and that made me feel even worse about myself. And then I was like, you know, nobody wants me, all this shit, right? You know, all these stories we create in our head. This was what was going on at 17. I wanted to quit school, but I tried to take too many antidepressants, so I would just never wake up. Didn't work out. But, you know, it was in a dark place. So there we go. So that's where I was at when I was 17. I don't know if any of you can connect to that, but when I asked my hairstylist, where she was at 17. And she's a very successful hairstylist. She owns her own salon, 6-figure gal, and just a great person, just a great big heart. And she does have her struggles. She struggles with, codependency and boundary issues and feeling like she has to make everybody happy and wonders why she just can't catch a break. She goes, Casey, I take 2 steps forward and fucking 3 steps back. Does anybody ever feel like that? I'm going to really attract the victims over here. It's okay. I used to be one. It's okay. You can make it out of that shit. So when she started telling me, I said, hey, tell me about your 17-year-old self. What were you doing? And she goes, oh my God, it was probably the worst time of my life. She said, my mom, they had split up or something. And I think her mom, they weren't getting along. She had gotten kicked out of her house, moved in with a very toxic boyfriend. She goes, I was so jealous. I was full of envy. I wondered why other girls got XYZ and I didn't. She goes, it was just one of the darkest times of my whole life. And I was like, wow. And so I asked the other girl, and she didn't have as many dark stories, but she goes, I just remember feeling just like I wanted to be desired. Like I really wanted boys to like me and they didn't. And they would always go for a different girl. And I felt so kind of rejected and not good enough when I was 17. And I was like, damn, I'm looking around like, fuck. Another girl I know, very successful 7-figure earner. I mean, she is a fucking firecracker. And we were talking the other day because she came to me. She was like, I need answers. I'm going to all these fucking doctors. They can't give me answers. And I feel like you got something that would help. Sure enough, we got her sleeping. We got her gut healed. That's doing good. Her relationships are better. Her business is better. She's experiencing more flow during the day. Her stress levels are down. Her hormones are getting, unwind, and she's figuring it out. But she told me, she goes, when I was 17, holy shit, my mom, she goes, that's when she was at the height of her shit, because her and dad, I guess, were doing whatever. She was just going through her shit. She goes, I really started numbing out. I started having sex a lot with different people. Not that sex is bad. Listen, none of this is bad or good. I'm just telling you these people's and stories, because, grief and stress and frustration and not being understood and all that, we act out. It's why children act out. We feel like we're not being seen and heard and whatever. And we feel bad about ourselves, and we do things to bring on more bad feelings. So it's like, see, I am a piece of shit. See, I don't deserve this and that. It's where egos want to be right. So she told me the same thing, struggling. So I'm like, wow, there must be something to this 17-year-old shit. Even Stevie Nicks, the Queen, made a song about the age of 17. So I'm like, what the fuck is up with this? I used to read 17 magazine, all this stuff in 17. So I'm like, let me bring this to the world, because we need some healing right now. And I feel like I wanted to share this with you. It's a very sacred thing. The recent struggle that I was going through, not a huge struggle, just a level up. And I was like, right now, things are not feeling good. They're just feeling this way. And I realized through the help and through what we have in Hot Moms and the resources in Hot Moms, that guess who was cotton blocking me? Guess who was keeping shit hard in my life currently? And I'm multi 7-figure, very successful, married 16 years. I'm considered to be a success story among a lot of people. I talk to women on the phone and I feel their energy, and I'm like, I would have been you. I would have had that lupus. I would have had the autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's. I would have been you, but I didn't. And I'm here to spread this gift for those that want healing and wants to say yes to the destiny versus fate and circumstantial shit, because it's all just circumstances. I didn't know back then that I had options. I didn't have anybody like me in my life. Come from a very small town, small mind, no money. Like I didn't have people like me. All you had was church, and I didn't want to go there, So there was just more shame and guilt where I went to church. So I didn't really want to go there. Like I said, nobody understood me. So I wanted to share with you my breakthrough recently. I think a lot of things that's going on right now, if you look back and you see what you were going through at 17, it's going to say that maybe some things are manifesting from there. Here's the deal. Here's what I figured out. And then I'm going to give you some journal prompts to sit with today and really clear this shit out if you desire to move forward. Like I said, I was just not feeling good. I felt extra stressed. I felt kind of run down. I found myself kind of slacking off really big time in the gym. Like, what's wrong? Like, here I'm going again. It's almost like I'm getting burnt out again. Like, what's going on? Dude, it was my 17-year-old self. She was knocking it. She was still running the show. She still felt like shit had to be hard. And when I told her, right, because your 17-year-old self are here. When I told her, hey, you actually, let's go here. Let's go to this next level. You know what she said? You know what she felt like? Yeah, bitch. Yeah. Fuck you saying I'm going to do this and be that. Full of shit is what you are. Let me go smoke another cigarette and get fucking high and then party later. Have some Wendy's later. So that's what my 17-year-old self would have said. was like, yeah, right, you're lying. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe I deserved good things. I didn't believe I deserved to be rich. I didn't believe I deserved anything except struggle and the shit end of the stick, and just things being hard. But I also believe that, like, I was taught that you work, you struggle, and if you're a good girl, you can go to heaven. And when you go to heaven, you can have your mansions and you won't feel pain. You can have like bliss and, nirvana. I literally thought you had to die to experience all that. So yeah, so she was sitting there. She believed that. She believed that she was ugly. She believed that she was responsible for everybody and everything, their emotions. She thought she had to make people happy. Can you imagine a 17-year-old girl coming into her womanhood, feeling responsible for all these other fucked up individuals? They can't even care for themselves, and she feels responsible for making them happy. And for now, she's got school and she's thinking about college, and she's got parents telling her to fucking cover her titties up. My dad literally told me, don't wear those shorts. It's horse shorts. All this stuff coming in, TikTok and all this shit coming in. Like, hello, no wonder we did what we did when we were fucking 17. Same thing now. If you just peel back the layers and you zoomed out, just like you're zoomed out now, the adult you's looking at the 17-year-old self. Hopefully you have some compassion for her because she didn't know any better and she's waiting on you. And she may be pissed off and she may be really scared, because I'm going to share with you what mine said when I went to retrieve her. And I'm going to give you some journal prompts that I actually did that helped me to go and retrieve her. If you want to put yes in the comments, if you want those journal prompts. Rebecca said, should you honor things your inner 17 wants to do, but couldn't? Absolutely. Like get a tattoo or do something fun or letting her run the show. Honey, I think that's the best thing. I want to cry. I think that's the best thing you could do for her. Yes. Like you see me, I'm about to cry. Like that's what it's about right there. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you those. Okay. So that's exactly what you should do, Becca, is you need to show up for your 17-year-old self. Oh, Demaisi. Oh, you got to go watch the replay in free group. Fucking fire. This is why we're going through what we're going through. So that's the reason shit's going on right now. We have to go back and retrieve our 17-year-old selves. And the cool thing about all of us right now is that, can we all agree? And if you don't agree, that's fine. But just for me, for you, for us, for we, in the comments, if you feel me on this, if your 17-year-old self went through some shit, I want you to write, I understand. I want you to write, I understand in the comments. This is going to heal you, other people, me, everybody. If your 17-year-old self went through the things and experienced the things that I just went over, I want you to type, I understand. Can you imagine all of us at that time when we felt so fucking alone and that nobody understood us and that we were fucking struggling? If we all felt seen and heard, like, hey, I'm going through that as well. And then we had an older version of ourselves, a healed version of ourselves that had all the things we never even thought were possible. We lived near the beach. We lived on the beach, hundreds of thousands of dollars, driving the sports car of our dreams, convertible, handsome fella, loves us, or whatever it is you have now. Your own home. You have your own home. You have your own car. You work, you get to do, the things that you want. Some of you aren't there yet, but you want to be there. And I'm here to fucking help you get there because I know how to do it. Okay. But can you imagine if we all had each other and under this understanding, and we could go like time travel, and this healed woman comes through and looks at each one of us and says, I see you. Here's what's going on. And you fucking deserve better. And here's what you're going to do to get yourself out of this, because you can do it. And gave us a fucking blueprint and gave us a blueprint to get out of it. Right? That's what's going to happen today. You want a body, you want the health, you want money, you want the man, the whatever. It starts with retrieving our 17-year-old self, because she's hurting right now. She's disassociated. She's pissed off. And you know what? We've already gone through what she's going through. Okay. She needs you. So let's go over the journal prompts. Okay. Now, those of you that are in the mastermind, this will be in a training. I will post the homework today. Those of you that are not, you better write fast. Okay. So the first journal prompt for our 17-year-old selves, you want to write this. Just write down the questions. You can go do this later. Okay. First question is, do you remember her? And listen, what I recommend is sitting down. If you really want to go fast, if you really want to break through timelines and shift and experience miraculous breakthroughs, because you deserve it. Remember, the part of you that feels like you don't, and the part of you that wants to skip over and think you're too busy and you don't know when you're going to get it done, that's your 17-year-old self. She needs a woman to rescue her. She needs a woman to take a deep fucking breath and let her know that there's time for her and that everything's going to be okay and that you're going to help her get out of this. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to come give you permission. You got to do this. You're older now. You understand what I'm saying? So do you remember her? That's the first question. Do you remember her? And sit with yourself sometime tonight, let the tears flow, man, because what you're doing is you're showing up for her, and she can finally be seen and finally release and feel free. And when you do this, you're going to bring her back to your midline, and you are going to be whole. You are going to be more whole than you were getting on this call. You're going to feel different. Things are going to start to shift for you. And if you get tested, because you will, you may have some shit come up and kick up the dust, maybe some dust, some residue. Don't let that deter you. Don't let that get you off track, because she's going to say, see, told you. She got a smart mouth, y'all. That's just coming from a hurt little girl. You're a woman. So show the fuck up for her. Don't get off track, man. All right. So do you remember her? That's number one. Number two, does she live in a cold place? Is it cold? Meaning the adults around her maybe are gone emotionally, don't understand her, want to judge her. Does she just feel alone? Okay. Does she live in a cold place? Let me bold these. Did her boyfriend or girlfriend hurt her? Okay. What happened to her? Okay. What happened to her? All right. Can I let her tell me the truth about how she really feels? No judgment. Not telling her that's bad. You shouldn't feel that way. You're going to go to hell. That's what sluts say or do. Like, none of that. Can you be safe and let her tell you the truth about how she feels? Will you laugh at her? She doesn't want to be made fun of. She doesn't want to be nagged at. I told you. She doesn't want to be preached to. Will you laugh at her? Are you going to tell her that she's stupid and that that's silly? Or are you going to teach her how to love herself by clearing out generational trauma and learning how to reparent herself? Hopefully you do the second. It's okay if you don't. Okay. What is she like? This is where Rebecca was saying she wants a tattoo. Get a tattoo. What is she like? What are some of the thoughts that she's thinking? And listen, this is not a linear thing. You may do this tonight and kind of connect in. You may have some dreams. And then maybe 2 days later, she comes out and there's more of her. Like, to me, processing things doesn't just happen like a one-time thing. It's kind of like over the course of days, right? It could be a one-time thing. I'm just letting you know. Okay. What made her numb out in sex and drugs and dating fucked up relationships? What made her do those things? Can you reassure her that things are different now, that she's safe now? Can you do that? And those of you that feel like you can't, I've got a solution for you. But can I reassure her that things are different? Okay. What would you need? What would I need to make her feel like things are better now? Who could I ask help from that could help us both? What do I really know she needs right now? What do I know that she needs right now? Here's a big one. Does she know that we made it out alive? Does she know we made it out alive and that those people can't hurt her anymore? That boy can't hurt her anymore? That those friends can't hurt? Does she know we made it out alive? There's no more struggle. She's got plenty of money now. She's got XYZ. Does she know that? Okay, here's a fun one. What would blow her mind right now if she knew? If you could go back in time and say, what would blow her mind right now and feel that? How can we teach her to trust her new reality? How can we teach her to trust the new reality, the current you, right? How can we get her to trust that? Does she need time? Does she need space? Does she need to take a day off? Does she need quiet? Does she need peace? What does she need? Does she need to see something? Is she willing to pick herself up and declare that she gets to have better things? Does she need some help? Lastly, what does she need in order to feel like she deserves to have, be, or do the things? What does she need in order to feel like she actually deserves to have, be, or do the things? And that's all. This will tell you how to get through your current shit show of a situation right now. So whatever your 17-year-old is going through right now, whatever that you get from this journal exercise is exactly what's going to get you through this into your next level. Got it? All right. That one is so powerful. We made it out. Absolutely. Right? That's a miracle. It's a miracle because people don't make it out, Rebecca. I shouldn't have made it out. I should have been dead. I should have been probably a really severe autoimmune disease if I wasn't dead yet, or just having a really bad life. Like, I've watched a lot of my friends and my family and my cousins, like one of them can't even walk anymore. She's drunk and got paralyzed from the neck down. Watch my friends pass away from drinking themselves to death, taking pills. Watch my little brother go through multiple things. Surprised he's not dead yet. He'll be incarcerated soon. So, I shouldn't be alive. So it is a miracle, Rebecca. So I'm not saying any of this to be like, oh, I'm saying that whatever you're going through right now, listen, this is the way out. and that you can overcome anything. Like you can overcome anything, but nobody, don't be like our toxic family members where they think, a lot of women are like this. They think that somebody's going to come save them and tell them like, here, you can have this. No, here's the money. Go ahead, treat yourself. Nobody's come to save you, dog. Nobody's come to do it for you. Like you got to do it yourself, but you're going to need some help. If you need help, I'm going to check the comments real quick. Hold on. More love and attention to help her. You nailed it. Darla D, you nailed it. More love and attention. But Casey, I'm so busy. Right. And when you're ready to get to the root of why and how to clear it out and how to actually move through this shit, that's what we do in Hot Moms. That's why it's called a trauma-informed approach to weight loss, fitness, and hormonal health. And women literally come into the energy. They're never the same. They turn into who they're always supposed to be. They make more money. They get the relationship. They find answers with their health. They stop struggling. They stop buying all these little shitty programs, right? So if you don't know how to do this, I got the how. Okay, your job. I went through hell so you wouldn't have to. That's what this is all about. It's just like a GPS system. You don't need one, but boy, they sure do fucking help. So that's what we do in Hot Moms. Those of you that are new, to follow me, that's what we do. We help you to stop the struggle, right? Because we go to the root issue and give you the how. You just have to want. You just have to want a different life. You got to choose the other option, right? You just got to choose. Just decide. Here you go. You got to allow yourself to have it. You got to allow yourself to have it. That's it. Okay. Now let me check the comments. I don't want to leave anybody out. All right. Struggle isn't required and willing to see things differently. Yes. I think it was Amanda Francis that said that. And she said that, Gabby Bernstein said that. I don't know. It's great. Yeah. Just willing to see the different side of the story, the coin, everything's perception. I heard a mentor say that, the sun, it's hot in Georgia right now. Right. But compared to what? Because if you're on the sun, it's really cold. So everything's you're just a perception shift away. I need help, but don't know what the but is, but the but is your story. So if you're willing to, learn something new, I think you can do it. Like I said the other day, listen, you're special. Everybody on this call, we're all special. We have unique gifts to bring to the world, but you're not. Your problems aren't unique. I know that sounds bad, but it's part of the victim story. Like, no, you don't understand. I mean, I hear you, but I also know that pain is pain, and self-limiting beliefs and self-doubt and depression, man, it's all of them. So in emotion, they can change. It's just energy. You're powerful enough to outcreate it. You just don't know you are. You just need to get around. You need to be around empowered women. You need to be around other women so you have a positive example, because that's what helped me a lot. Okay, this one says, already crying. I've benefited from that so much at 17. I would have benefited so much. Yeah, we all would. Yeah. And you have it now. So if you have any grief, like you didn't get it, go ahead, process that grief. I've had to cry many tears of stuff that you didn't have, you didn't get. And then once you have that, you realize that I can give it to myself now. People, you got to realize too, actually, people will die. People watching this call will die in that same energy, right? So you got it. Like you made it. You made it out of the matrix to understand what you just connected in. So that's good. That's really good. Okay. Thank you so much for this. I needed to hear this from my 13-year-old daughter. Yeah. Your 17-year-old self can help heal your 13-year-old daughter. We only experience problems with our teens because we have put our teen selves up on the shelf. We're not looking at our own shit. If we consistently have problems with our kids and they go through a lot of pain and we're sitting there trying to keep that and wear that pain, the reason is because we don't know how to heal and save ourselves. You do that, everything changes. I've been working on the inner child. Never occurred to me to check on the shitty teenage years. I just assumed those years were always terrible for everyone, right? But you know why now? It's so sad because it's terrible for everyone because parents are ignorant. We're all ignorant. You have to do conscious parenting, right? Emotionally intelligent, understanding like metaphysical science. You have to understand just fucking emotional intelligence, but nobody does that. They don't teach that. It's frowned upon, right? So that's why teens were so horrible. Moms, there's shame. They come from religious blocks. There's shame. There's ideas about how we think our kids should be because we don't want them to grow up like us. It's just one big projection cycle after another. We'd never let them be their selves because we're not ourselves. We're not our whole selves. We're still trying to please something outside of us. You see the cycle? That's why Hot Moms, we show you, man, if you really want out, you got to clear your codependency. You got to clear your mommy wounds, your daddy wounds. You got to clean up all this shit if you really want out of the weight struggle. So for those of you in the mastermind, I will post the journal prompts right now. For those of you that are not, and you want some help, Love to help, love to see what we can do. Listen, I'll be honest. We've got so many programs, depending on where you're at. We're providing 15-minute consults right now. We'll gladly talk to you for 15 minutes and kind of just get a feel for what's going on. And then we can point you in the right direction. So I recommend going to caseyship.com/book a call. And there's a quick application on there. So we can get a little bit more information about you, and then we can connect, do the 15-minute call and just hear what your problems are, like what you're experiencing. How's these things manifesting in your life? Struggling with your weight, stubborn fat, hormones, low energy, stuck, whatever. Let us know. We're highly trained. We can get you pointed in the right direction so you can stop the struggle, right? All right. It's been real. Make sure nobody else said anything. I hate feeling like I missed out. She said, how much is it? So Queen Elevated Beauty is different. So everything's customized to the individual. So we have things from $7 to, over 20 grand, depending on like who you are, what you need, and all this stuff. So I recommend just booking that call and seeing, we've got a lot of free resources as well. A lot of women just book the call so they can find out which direction. I have hundreds of free resources. So, you just really probably should book the call, get in our free group here in the community, ask questions, see what you need so you can just get your foot in the door so you can start elevating, increasing your emotional intelligence, your awareness, so your life gets to be easier. Your vibration can increase, right? You need to be around women that's moving and shaking and that's empowered. You hang around people long enough, you pick up on their energy. That's what you need. You're amazing. Thank you. I notice no one has left your life. Yeah, it's just when I got into the journal prompts, the action taking stuff, they're like, fuck it. All right, it's okay. You're an angel. You deserve a place here. Oh, I love you. I love you, Louise. Such a powerful channel you are. Love it. Yeah. And if money's a problem, I saw it where you're like, I have your money trauma. Money trauma is real. We help with the money trauma. I had a ton of money trauma, so we got you. All right. I got to hop off before my next call. If you missed that, go back and watch it. The recording is going to be in the free group, Hot Moms free group. All right. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.